Remain calm, my friend, so wise. Talking facts through piercing eyes. Children lost in stories shared. In this world where no one's spared. Porch talks that make me laugh out loud. Hilarious moments make me proud. Life's a mix of joy and pain. Sunshine after pouring rain. Stay strong, we need your voice so clear. In the dark, you bring the light so near. Our hearts are heavy, but you make them soar. With every truth and every porch talk more. Facts laid bare, life laid plain. Painful truths you can't contain. Yet laughter finds its way to us in each hilarious, honest fuss. Missing faces, haunting cries. You bring hope with your eyes. The porch talks in the night we find. A lighter heart, a clearer mind. Stay strong, we need your voice so clear. In the dark, you bring the light so near. Our hearts are heavy, but you make them soar. With every truth and every porch talk more. Facts laid bare, life laid plain. Painful truths you can't contain. Yet laughter finds its way to us in each hilarious, honest fuss.
Alrighty. Here we go. Hey, H. Hey, what's his? Hey, Steven. Crime mobsters. Okay. So, first off, we are going to talk about a few things. This is something that just came to my attention this morning. Let me get my little peace sign girl off of here. Okay, girl, take a break. Peace. Okay, this came to my attention this morning. A woman dropped off a lifeless 3-year-old boy at a New York hospital and then just took off. She dropped this little baby off and then just left. Now, luckily, the child was identified by his grandmother, Kata Foster. The 3-year-old little boy's name is King, Kyng Davis. Authorities and family members are searching for answers after a 3-year-old boy was abandoned at a New York hospital where he very quickly passed away. Now, what's weird is they are saying that he had already had rigor mortis setting in. So they're not sure what the heck is going on. At approximately 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, an unidentified woman brought the unresponsive toddler to SUNY Downstate Medical Center. The child had, trigger warning, bruises covering his face and body. So she just brings him in and leaves him. There was a car outside parked waiting for her. So how did they know to contact Grandma? Grandma said, I'm the grandmother, it's hurting me. Y'all, I don't know what to do right now. Whoever did this to my grandson, Grandma is coming for you all, is what Grandma said. Wow. So, who had done this to him? Of course, the COD hasn't been determined, pending an autopsy. The 3-year-old King did appear to have signs of rigor mortis, suggesting he had already been unalive when he was brought into the hospital. That is craziness. If you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453 or go to www.childhelp.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential. Hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. Wow. Andrew, what is up, Andrew? What have you been doing? What have you been doing, Andrew? Remain Calm wants to know. We are going to be, this is just an update right here, you guys, over, remember when I reported the 5-year-old boy, and we talked about the hyperbaric chamber, right? 4 people are going to be arrested over the hyperbaric chamber explosion. You guys remember I talked about this? Clash, I know you remember I talked about this. So they finally identified the young boy as Thomas Cooper. Now, he'd been receiving treatment at the Oxford Center in Troy, Michigan for sleep apnea and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Okay, so they put him in a hyperbaric chamber. Yeah, me too, Andrew. I'm trying to stay out of it too. Whatever it is, I'm not looking for it. You know what I mean? For sure. So they did arrest 4 people. They're not saying who they are, though. They are going to be arraigned on today. They are supposed to be arraigned today. So I will check into that and see what is up with that. That is pretty wild. Only thing I ever knew about a hyperbaric chamber is that Michael Jackson used to get in one all the time. And I think Justin Bieber gets in one. Yeah, weird. So they've been, okay, so the founder and CEO of the alternative medicine facility. Her name is Tamela Peterson. She was among those arrested. Her and 2 others have been charged with second-degree red rum, while a 4th person is facing charges of involuntary manslaughter and intentionally placing false information in medical records. What? What? Why would you put false information in medical records? What are you trying to hide? I want to know. What are you trying to hide? Look how cute. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. Ah. So yeah, they were putting him in the chamber for sleep apnea and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. How do you get a child like that to be still in there? Okay, let me give you an idea of this, okay? The hyperbaric chamber has a higher air pressure than normal to help patients breathe in 100% pure oxygen. Now, the FDA said on its website that the devices are not proven to cure cancer, Lyme disease, autism, or Alzheimer's, and recommend people check with their healthcare providers before using one. But the FDA has cleared them to treat certain conditions, including burns and carbon monoxide poisoning. So now, his mom did attempt to rescue him out of the, the trigger warning, the flames. Mom did try to get him, and this is horrific. Horrific. I wonder what made it. Huh. Well, we will keep an eye on it. We shall keep an eye on that. All right, without any further ado, let's pop over to WSMV for Nashville. I'm just getting caught up with this stuff. This is an interview that Chris and Katie Proudfoot did. It was 11 days ago. Let me get my COA here, so I don't have to dick around. I don't have to dick around. Okay, hold on. Hang on, Lord. Gypsy. I'm not done with you, Gypsy. Yeah, I don't know what a freak. I don't know. I just know I'm a weirdo. I'm a freak, I'm a weirdo, and I don't mind it. Okay, let me pop on over here. Let's get started on this. I just want to kind of cover. This is WSMV4. The link to that is in the description. I am going to commentate on this because that is what I do. So let's get this started. I actually, I don't know if I need to, hold on. I want to turn it, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. If it gets too fast, then, and this is only like a 20-minute interview with them. So Here we go.
Thank you. So here we are. So it's an entire year after Sebastian's disappearance. There's no really strong lead. There's no sighting yet. So tell me what you're feeling now. Here we are 1 year later.
I struggle to put words to how it feels, honestly.
If the background music's too loud, you
The
guys let me know.
amount of
I am going
ups and
to
downs, the amount of like possible leads that haven't panned out. We every day, you know, it's like waking up to this reality that it's actually real. And I mean, Sebastian should be home with us. I mean, he should be in school, he should be playing, he should be learning, he should be experiencing life. And
this is Katie Proudfoot talking,
until
you guys.
we can find him and until we can bring him home, we're going to keep doing everything we can to make sure that people don't forget about him. We're going to keep making sure that we spread awareness for him, and we're going to keep searching, and we're definitely.
Now, somebody had left me a comment about Katie not, here, let me take this down so you guys can actually see. They felt that her not looking directly at who she's talking to and looking down, and they found that to be rather odd. They found her behavior to be pretty odd.
Keep praying.
You've told me you do want to stay positive. I know you both want to stay positive. That's all part of it. So in your mind, do you see Sebastian coming back through your front door? Do you feel he's okay? He's alive. He's out there.
I dream about it every day. I dream that one day I'm gonna wake up and this is gonna be a nightmare. But yes, I believe that my son is out there somewhere. I believe that we are going to find him. We are going to bring him home, and we're gonna find a way to recover from this. And I'm gonna watch him grow into a young man, and you know, live the life that he deserves to have.
What would you say to him when he walked in that door?
Oh God, I don't even know if I'd be able to speak. I'd probably bulldoze him down with hugs. Honestly, when I picture that, I just picture being able to hug him, to hold him, to smell him. I mean, I just to be able to hear his voice, to hear his laugh, to see him just be with us and be okay is.
So, do you guys really think that she's just blowing off at the mouth? I said there was a lot of people who had a lot of problems with this interview. Katie's not come out and said anything disparaging about Sebastian's father. Katie hasn't came out and talked about the worst part of, how do I want to say this? The worst part of Sebastian. Katie hasn't done that at all, but Sebastian's father has.
Like I can't wait to see my son. I want to find him so bad.
You think he's coming home, right?
I hope he does.
How would you describe what you all have experienced this last year with so many unanswered questions still?
It's horrific.
And don't forget, you guys, because let's see, Sebastian will be 18 in a couple years, right? So could the possibility be that Sebastian's just staying away until he turns 18? I don't know. Just a question.
To be honest with you, I don't know how to describe what it feels like to watch the news, to go hang flyers in every store, every business, every place that you go to, and still find that some people don't even know about it. To hear that there might be a lead, and then just to sit there and have to wait and find out that it's not him yet. And
That has to be very heartbreaking, in my opinion.
it's
pure hell. I mean, there's nothing you can, there's no words, there's no way to put how this actually feels. And anybody that can, I don't see how. I mean, it's day-to-day life changes and you're stuck. It's almost like, it feels like it's a Groundhog Day thing, where it's the same thing over and over. You wait, you hope a phone call may come in, you may get something, may get a lead, turns out to be nothing. That's how it feels.
What is that?
And I know people do not like that dude. I find him to be rather shady also, but he was at work. They say he was at work, you guys. So, and you know, one thing that I always, what interests me about Seth, and I heard, I think it was on Jay's, I try to watch Jay for Justice every once in a while. And I heard someone talking about why didn't Seth try to call Sebastian's phone? I don't know if he did or not. That was just something that somebody was putting out there. I don't know who was on our panel. I totally forget. So,
message. Now, we were talking earlier last week. Tell me what that message is that you want to make sure our viewers hear from you tonight.
I want to thank everyone who is searching. I want to thank everyone who is spreading flyers, spreading awareness. I want to ask everyone not to forget, and I want to encourage people to keep helping and to keep bringing awareness, not only to our son, but to all of the missing children, because they all deserve to go home. And I would also like to say that if my son could hear it, that we love him so much, and that we are going to keep searching. We are going to keep looking. We are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
I hope so, Katie. I hope so.
Describe your hope right now.
I'm trying to be positive as I can.
And this is horrifying. I'm telling you guys right now. I've said this before, and I truly mean what I'm saying. To take a parent of a missing child and threaten and do horrible things where that parent doesn't even feel safe to even stay at their home. It's quite telling. It's quite telling. I am going to speed that up a little bit faster. We are going to, where the heck is it? Hang on. We are going to be going over a Q&A that Benny Keys had with Don Wells 3 years ago. It's on the Don Wells Family Official. Real interesting. It came, it just popped up in my radar. So I thought maybe we would look at that together too, you guys. I will speed this one up a little bit more. Hang on. Let's speed it up just a little bit more.
because I know that my son is out there. I struggle to find words to even describe how it feels anymore because it's a living nightmare, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about the fact that Sebastian is out there and that we are looking for him, and we're going to keep looking for him, and we're going to keep praying to God that he is okay, and we're going to bring him home.
This story, we know it's baffled our Hendersonville community. We know it's baffled the mid-state community. It's baffled the
Baffled a
country as
lot
we
of
hear about
people.
it. Is there anything that stands out to you that's the most baffling? Like you're just trying to understand.
You guys think do you guys
How is
honestly
Lon and still
think
haven't found him
Katie's
overseas?
lying? Do you honestly believe
just-
she's lying?
I don't understand how we haven't found him yet.
Why do you think
Me neither,
Sebastian is still
Katie.
missing?
That's tough to say. I mean, it was the largest manhunt in Tennessee history for a child.
Let me turn this down a little bit.
Absolutely zero evidence. There's nothing out there. Law enforcement's working due diligently. They are working hard over and over and over. You know, we appreciate everything they do. I mean, it is an active investigation, so I don't want to go into it. But it is mind-blowing at the same time that it's been a year, and the amount of people that still don't know about this, it's unnerving, basically.
I know you both want to try to get the word out as much as possible, and that's what.
Okay, and that's the thing too, because this happened with Summer's case too, you guys. Some people didn't even know about Summer being missing at all. That even resided in the area and around that area. There were a lot of people that just were never made aware that was happening. There were missing posters that were put out that, people were saying they were being taken down and different things like that. People do weird things. I mean, they do. People do weird things.
The story, obviously, that's what we're trying to do as well. There are many people who still do not know that you all have hired a private investigator. What can you tell me about the video that he recently has discovered and wants to share? I know this has
they're
been
getting
shared
ready
with
to talk
authorities
about
now.
SF
This is
Investigates.
involving the neighborhood that you live in. What can you tell me about that video?
It's eye-opening to see that this is something that recently has surfaced, and it's been this long. It's just taken that long to find something. And what the video shows is kind of mind-boggling. We went from potentially not having a sighting to potentially having a sighting. And it kind of changes, like, wait a minute.
What do you mean? What do you mean? If law enforcement had that within 72 hours, law enforcement had that. So they do not believe that it had anything to do with Sebastian, right? So this is just interesting the way that he's talking about this.
And we may have something to actually work off of and move forward with.
How?
And see where this goes.
How?
Exercise every avenue till its fullest.
No
It doesn't
stone
matter.
unturned.
No stone.
How? Somebody answer me right freaking now. How does that little video of an alleged stranger, how law enforcement knew about it within 72 hours? How can it now be helpful? How could it now be helpful? After over a year, right? How can it be helpful now?
Katie, you told me earlier you were determined to get to the bottom of this, to get to the bottom of that video.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that could possibly be something that could lead us to him. We're going to keep looking. We're going to keep digging and keep finding and confirm if it is or isn't, because
who was the one who dropped a little hint in a creator's ear that there was talk of sending Sebastian to some sort of boys' school? Who? Who is the one who put that in a creator's ear? Inquiring minds want to know.
I mean, if it's possible, then it's got to be confirmed.
After all this freaking time. Hey, Actrite.
How hopeful are you that this video truly has something that could lead to finding Sebastian?
I pray that if there is anything even remotely in it that could help us find Sebastian, I pray that it is.
I agree.
I don't know how to
I mean,
word it, but it's followed up and found out and confirmed one way or the other because, you know, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the video. I know it's in it. It actually gives us more rejuvenated hope that we may actually be onto something. We just have to run it down. We've got to figure this out.
but I don't, that the thing about that is, act right, bitches, and I get what you're saying, that Katie doesn't make a lot of eye contact and stuff like that. But if you go back to like Katie's first interview that she ever did, and the one that she does especially with Nancy Grace makes a comment to her about not making eye contact. And I think this is just me and my opinion on that. I think that kind of told me that this isn't something that Katie is doing to be deceptive in any way. It just seems like that's part of her character. But that's just the way I feel. I get what you're saying too.
And with law enforcement doing what they can, and with the help of like TBI, the FBI, all of that. I believe Secret Service was involved in the beginning. Maybe they can look at this video as well. Let's bring people back to the table, and let's exercise every possibility of enhancing this video, looking at whatever, and tackling what it is to get an answer.
Now, this is your chance to respond, to speak out, to speak your mind, whatever it is that you want to say. But
hang on, let me see what my cat wants. He doesn't want anything.
no matter what the story is, there are always people who will point fingers. What do you want to say to anyone out there who wants to say that one of you could have something to do with Sebastian's disappearance?
I would say to pause and to think, and I would say to consider the sources of information, try to make sure that you're getting legitimate information, avoid the rumors, and I would say that everyone should pause and remember why we all came together in the first place, and that is because Sebastian's missing, and because I'd like to believe.
You think she's got guilty knowledge? Okay.
That we all want to find him, and no matter what anyone's personal opinion is, that the most important thing still remains that Sebastian needs to be found and Sebastian needs to come home. And I would just say thank you to everyone and anyone that is a part of that.
So let's say Sebastian is listening when this is running, and he hears you, he sees you. What do you want to say to him?
I would say that I love you so very much, and that I hope that you're okay. And I would say that know that we all love you, and that there are so many people that care and so many people that are looking, and hang in there and know that we're going to find you, know that we're going to bring you home. Just, I miss him so much. So at this point, it's keep searching.
I just don't think it'd matter what Katie said, to be honest. I don't think it would matter what she said. She was the last known person to be with Sebastian, right? So whether she's truthful or not truthful, you know, we talk about that a lot on this channel, where we automatically go, we look for, we look for the lies. We look for the anything that we can find that is shady to us. That's what we look for. That is immediately what a lot of people look for.
People keep looking, keep searching, keep looking. We keep putting up new flyers. I know a lot of places, they take them down after so long. We just keep going back and putting more up. I refer to my original request, just anyone that's willing, don't let him become forgotten. Don't let him become lost in
Hey!
the next
Oh,
story.
hold on.
Not
Oh
to
my God.
supersede other children, because they all deserve just as much, if not more, attention, because all children do. But I would say just please don't let him become forgotten and lost, because we're never going to stop. We're never going to let that happen if we can help it.
With his autism, is there anything else that we should add that you want the public to know right now?
I would say that he is high, what they would consider high functioning. He's not, he doesn't struggle with verbal communication, but he does, he does struggle sometimes with expressing himself, is, I guess, the best way that I could put that. But he's so smart and he's so capable, and that I think the initial image of him that was portrayed was misleading to an extent. And I think that in the chaos of trying to get the initial information about him out, that various things got taken and misconstrued. So I would just tell everyone that he's smart, he's capable, he's funny, he's able to speak to you and to recognize things. You know, he's a teenager, and you know, so he's a young man. Honestly, he just had a birthday, and I'm sure that his mustache is coming in more. I mean, he really is a good kid.
What do you miss most about your son?
Oh God, I miss his smile. I miss his laugh. I miss going and doing fun things with him. I miss taking him to get a haircut and him saying, "Mom, feel my head." I miss cooking dinner with him. I miss game nights. He would play Uno until the sun came up if you let him. You know, he goes through phases of which games he's into, but you know, I miss him. I miss everything about him, the good, the bad. I miss his attitude. I miss, you know, him trying to eat all the sweets instead of dinner. I miss him stealing my Brussels sprouts while I'm trying to cook them.
Oh. I sense lots of joy that's being missed right now.
Green tea.
His jokes, the way he laughs when he tells a funny. He had there's a video that I put out that he was being goofy, and he had this like half gallon of green tea that he had gotten from the grocery store, and he thought of this joke, and he ran in the kitchen. And
all right, I'm back.
A green cup, and he was like, "Mom, green tea!" It was just so funny, and I was just like, "Dude, hold on, you got to do that again." And I grabbed my phone, and I was like, "You got to do it again." And he was like, "Green tea!"
All right, let me see here.
He was just like, it's not in the video, but he was just rolling because he just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And
He got some quirky one-liners.
oh God, he was getting he was getting to where he had some good ones.
Feels like a great sense of humor.
It was definitely developing. He was coming into his sarcasm. You know, like one of the other videos I released was hard to hear, but we were bowling, and because he has a lot of fun with it. He actually was getting a lot better without bumpers. But he like rolled a good roll, and he turns around and he's like, "You got wrecked, Mom." And I was just like, what is happening right now? But I mean, I miss that. You know, I miss being able to hang out with him, you know, because he's not little anymore, you know. Which we had a lot of fun when he was little, but when they get older, you know, you start being able to do different things with him, and you know, game nights are, God, they're a blast sometimes.
I've been told on
So,
my life,
why do you guys? I mean, why do you guys think that she's lying? You guys honestly think she's lying about what she's saying? I mean, For sure, for sure.
Sure.
Whole days.
Hmm.
It's big in the summer. He loves to go to the pool as much as possible.
Okay,
Swimming.
so he does love water. Right
He's,
there, she's saying.
I don't know if I put that picture out or not, but there's one that I took of him. He was on this like giant, I think it was a flamingo, and he was just like,
Hey, Birdie, what's up?
just being a cool guy.
Being a fun kid. For our viewers, before we end this, I guess your message for them is just keep hope alive,
Remember him.
keep looking.
Share his face, because talking about him is what we want to do, but we want to make sure that people know his face. We want to know that people know who they're looking for, and we would just ask that everyone just kind of be aware of your surroundings in general. You never know, and
Very
all
true,
it
Katie.
takes is just one person that could make a
Very
difference.
true.
And go ahead.
I would say, if anything, constantly being vigilant, just looking out there.
And I noticed in this interview that Katie did a lot of the talking, not Chris. Katie did a lot of the talking in this interview.
Aware of what your surroundings are. Please, if you see something, call 911. Call TBI. I know there's a lot of other things out there, but
We would
we
encourage.
just it needs to be segregated. Like just a single point of right back to law enforcement. That's where it needs to go.
We would-
Anybody sees anything, just report it. Please.
Do you feel that there's someone out there right now that knows something? They're just not saying it?
It's hard to say until we can run down this video.
Yeah, I mean,
and figure out
kind of.
what we're seeing. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to. It's because it's an active investigation. I don't want to add any more
Rumor.
chaos that's already out there. We just want to keep this to the core, Sebastian.
Keeping hope alive.
Yes.
Cool. That is really cool. Cool, cool, cool. Get that music off. It's getting on my nerves. So I can see how you guys feel. Some of you guys feel that, you know, Katie is not being truthful, and because she hasn't come out and put herself out there for people to bash her continuously, because that's all she would be doing. Anytime Katie's ever came out and talked, people have discredited everything that she's been saying. Everything that Katie says and does is under a microscope. But why isn't that the same for Seth Rogers? Why isn't it the same for Seth Rogers? What makes it so different that people pussyfoot around with Seth Rogers, and, you know, nobody can say anything negative about Seth Rogers, but they can sit around and discredit Katie? How is that even okay? How is that even okay? For sure. Now this one, I am going to have my I'm going to have my little let me put my little peace sign girl up here. Where was Seth that night? He was supposed to be in working, Andrew. He was supposed to be working, supposedly, and he couldn't have his phone. Couldn't have his phone in the jail. So he got the message when he went to leave that morning. A lot of that didn't make any sense to me, because did he go straight to Katie and Chris's house? Did he stop somewhere first? Just interesting things like that. Now they have proof he was working. Hey, flies. Chris or Seth? I believe they were all. Katie probably was supposed to go to work that day, right? I still say, and this is just my thoughts on it, is that they were talking about Sebastian having to change his life and what he was used to. If you go back, a lot of autistic people, they love having a regimen. You know, they want to have basically the same just the same I'm not. Yeah. Well, everybody should be on Sebastian's team. Everybody should be Team Sebastian. But it's sad because they put you in a situation, and I personally, I like keeping Sebastian's name out there, but I just don't like talking about all the crazy nonsense that they have put with his name. So that is the sad part. Okay, so let me pop over here. All right, we talked about the lady who dropped her 3-year-old off at the hospital and left. We've heard of that before. We talked about the 5-year-old in the hyperbaric chamber. Oh, I know what I wanted to play. And thank you for sending this to me, because I was looking for this. Now, this is from a channel called It's Kempy's Fault, is what this channel's called. It's Kempy's Fault. I've never heard of this channel, so I hope they don't mind that I am going to play a couple things that they have on here. This is about Ernie Shell. Hold on. This is about Ernie. Now, hold on. Let me make sure I get it right. This is about Gwen Madden, Shelby Lee's mother, and her mental illness. But isn't Shelby and Ernie have the same mom, right? I don't want to confuse myself here. There shouldn't be any teams. There should not be any teams when it comes to a missing child. Thank you for dropping that link. I had been looking for Ernie's family to come out and talk. All right, this one says about Gwen Madden, Shelby Lee's mother, and her mental illness. So they're talking about Ernie's mom right here also, because Shelby's mother and Ernie's mother are the same mom.
She would hitchhike with truckers. Remember, Papa went plumb to Cincinnati once to pick her up. It was bad.
Wait, what?
She thought she was a vampire one time, and she went into the ground.
Now, Ernie said his mother, what was it, said that they were part werewolf. Now, this girl's talking about, she said she was a vampire. I'm confused. Can you be part vampire and part werewolf? I'm confused.
Grocery store at Dawn's.
And she thought she was a bat could fly.
Yeah, she got on top of the house and thought she could fly.
She got on the house and thought she could
2 or 3
fly.
years ago. Not long ago. She wrote on crayon with a crayon on the trailer. Fuck you, Steve. I know you fucked my sister. Talking about Connie, which they did. But and he got a blazer off of her, and she threw cinder blocks through his vehicle windows and tried to set it on fire. And Angel just had a baby on St.
This is
Patrick's
their
Day,
sister.
daughter, and she thinks it's hers. Junior asked her, kept saying, "Well, who's her daddy?" You know.
But didn't Ernie get his mom to come on camera and say some stuff?
I need to know who my daddy is because I have all these heart problems. They're hollering it's genetic. Well, who the hell's my daddy? Because nobody else have them. Well, she told him Papa was my daddy. She told him Ralph Carr was my daddy. Jeff Brock, the judge that just died, was supposed to be my daddy. I've got 14 daddies. She's got 6 kids, and every one of us got different dads. We don't know.
So 6 kids, and they all got different dads? Okay, hold on, because I don't want to mess, I don't want to dox anybody in my emails. Hang on. All right, let's pop over to this one.
I'm closer to Shibley because Shibley is straightforward. I mean, you know
She's
what
talking
you're
about
be
Shelby.
dealing with at the moment. Shibley tells you something, you can take it to the bank.
Yeah.
No matter how crazy, no matter how what, Shibley tells you something, you can take it to the bank. Ernie and Shibley have 2, kinda. They've been to psychiatric units before. Him and Shibley went together actually in Harlan.
So she's saying that Shelby and Ernie both went to a mental health facility together in Harlan. So obviously there's mental illness in the family.
And they tried to run. I think they did run away. I think they jumped across the fence when they were playing ball.
Shibley never was all there.
Yeah.
Even when his granddad raised him up there, he'd always tell me, I always help Shibley.
Okay, so that's Dad, right? Is this Ernie's dad?
In every way you can help the little old fella.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a hard way to go because he just never.
Let me pull over on this other one. There's one more. Hang on. Here we go. Now this is Dad. This is Dad, right? Hang on. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on, y'all.
Ernie's involved. I say Ernie was wanting to make a big name for himself. Ernie's always wanting to be something that he can't be. He's always wanting to be a law or wanting attention. He's even hollered he was a bounty hunter and everything else before, you know. Shibley was tight. Anything you ask him to do, he'd do it.
He'd help you, yeah.
Ernie thinks he's smart.
Yeah, Ernie thinks he's a genius. He just,
yeah.
Ernie.
And if you look back in his background, you'll find out what he done when he looked all them wrestlers too.
Yeah.
Like,
So this guy is basically saying that Ernie is Ernie has always dreamed big. Ernie's always dreamed big. They go back to the wrestlers and what Ernie did to the wrestlers. And now let me ask you guys this, because some of what we hear that Ernie lies about, yeah, Ernie plays make-believe, right? But some of what we hear Ernie lying about is, and of course it drives us crazy because he's fucking full of shit, and we all know that. But some of it is not that he has physically hurt someone. some of Ernie's lies are just that. They're just lies. And the only person that Ernie's lies hurt sometimes is Ernie. That's just some of them. I'm not saying all of them, you guys. That is some of them. Let me bring us back and we'll listen to it again.
I say Ernie was wanting to make
This
a
is
big
Shelby's
name for
dad.
himself. Ernie's always wanting to be something that he can't be. He's always wanting to be a law or wanting attention. He's even hollered he was a bounty hunter and everything else before, you know. Shibley was tight. Anything you ask him to do, he'd do it.
He'd help you, yeah.
Ernie thinks he's smart.
Yeah, Ernie thinks he's a genius. He just,
Yeah.
Ernie.
And if you look back in his background, you'll find out what he done when he looked all them wrestlers too.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that because Shelby, as we all know, spent a lot of his life in and out of jail and prison, do you think that Shelby would maybe say that he did something that he didn't do to protect Ernie? You guys see what I'm asking? Do you think that Shelby would take accountability maybe for some things that he shouldn't have per se, to help his brother Ernie? It's just a question, so it's just a question.
Like he was a big promoter. He act like he was a promoter over wrestling. He had these wrestlers that you see on TV, a whole lot of them.
Yeah, he did.
And like he was promoting them, he's going to pay them to come into that wrestling outfit they had over there. And they didn't have money to pay them with. Ernie's always wanting to be something that he can't be.
He could be, he just don't want to work for it.
His brother Ernie, he would be in on it more than people knows, because he's the type of person, he wanted to get rich quick, and he's all his life he wanted to, like, be into filmmaking or wrestling or something. And he's like 30-year-old. He makes a mask and stuff for Jason and sells them, and tries to open his own company. And he's the type of person in his own mind. He's a legend in his own mind, I guess.
A
you could
legend
say,
in his own
that he
mind.
wants to get rich quick.
Do you remember his IQ? Yeah, I think that Shelby, I mean, if we go back and talk about the phone call where Ernie called Shelby in the middle, it was the middle of the night, wasn't it? And Ernie's like, I love you, brother. I love you, brother. Yeah, that was really strange. Yeah, Shelby had a low IQ. Yeah, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. And Ernie was like, I love you, brother. And then one thing that still stands out to me is Ernie saying that Shelby would have the weapon the next day. That Shelby would have that weapon in his possession the next day. Weird. That's all weird. But at least the K's supposed to be getting all those things together, so that'd be interesting.
And not do nothing, but he's so sorry. He's too sorry to live, you know. I don't really have feelings toward him like I do Shelby.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, isn't it? Pretty wild. Pretty wild. For sure. Gypsy. All right, Gypsy made a little thingy that I think I'm supposed to watch. So we're going to do that really quick. Gypsy, I am sorry, but I do not agree with y'all fighting the way that you're fighting, okay? I like Sarah. I like you. And I have seen, whether you believe it or not, Gypsy, I have seen Sarah, you know, getting her feelings hurt. I'm not saying you ain't got your feelings hurt. Yes, the necklace. Yes. The necklace that was found in Ernie's room. Yes, the necklace came from Ronnie's house, Ronnie King's house. Yeah, yeah. But I think we talked about Shelby took a plea deal, so I don't think he can go back and fight it, can he? I don't think he can go back and fight it. Okay, so Gypsy's trying to explain to me why Gypsy, I do want to say this, ma'am. Please do not come in to my chat and call anybody a name, okay? I didn't see it, or I would have took care of it myself right away. It was told to me that, you know, you called Sarah a pretty bad name in my chat. I didn't see it, and I will apologize to Sarah for me not seeing that, because I would have nipped that in the bud. Just like I would have if someone would have came in my chat and called you names too, Gypsy, because I don't like that. I don't like the name calling and stuff. I mean, if you guys do it in other chats or whatever, to each their own, but I just have always tried to, you know, keep my my channel as a place of safety for everyone to come to without the fear of being called names and stuff. So no, I'm not perfect, but yes. But I think he can get his sentence reduced. Yeah, but how can he get it reduced? I feel like Ernie would set him up before he would take the rap. Well, and look, I don't talk about Jimbo Collins. I don't know Jimbo. Okay. I just know what I seen when I covered the Shelby Shell trial. And it bothered me when Jimbo got angry at Ernie, that all of a sudden he comes out and he's like, you know what you did, Ernie, to Ronnie King. And, you know, that didn't set well with me, only because Jimbo went to court and testified against Shelby. And if he knew, and it's true, that Ernie played a part in all of that, why wait all these years later to come out and say something? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I think I hear Chad. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay. But if he was busted for 420, it's a no-go. Isn't that fucking shitty? I think that is so shitty. For real. But I can't sit here and tell Sarah how she should feel about Gypsy and things that were said. And I can't sit here and tell Gypsy how she should feel about things and different things that were said. And hey, I'm live. Can I call you back? All right, love you. Bye. You know, I can't do that because everybody has their own truth, and I just want you guys to know I like you both, and it just you guys know me. I'm a freak when it comes to people that I really like not getting along and stuff like that. So if you guys could ever get to a point where you could maybe start all over, because this happens a lot. Okay, this happens a lot. A lot of times we can say to someone that, hey, let's start all over, right? Let's just move on. And you can't. And you can't move on because of things that were said previously or things that were done previously. Some things that people do to each other, people just don't forgive really easily over some of that stuff, right? I wonder if it's the demon. She has me blocked. No, Gypsy don't have to hide if she comes in here. She don't have to hide at all. But yeah, I learned a long time ago. I try to stay out of the middle of people that I like who don't get along. So the way that I am, I would never go to either one of those ladies and say anything about them at all to each other, for sure. And it kind of threw me off when Lips was talking about Gypsy wanted her to pull up some stuff on Sarah, but Gypsy could do that. Gypsy could do that on her own, couldn't she? I mean, I don't know. I'm not I don't know one way or the other, but I mean, it just sounds like that, you know, Gypsy's felt some type of way for 3 years, and 3 years is a long time to, I guess, have feelings about something like that. So Sarah said the other day she couldn't take it anymore. She was just going to block her so she doesn't see what she says and ask people not to tell her what she is saying. Sarah was hurt. Oh, yes, I get it. I get it, Sarah. Because it does, you guys. It really does. It makes it worse when you've got people who consistently want to keep telling you everything that this person is saying, and it just keeps it going. And you know, I look, if I felt somebody was, you know, continuously trying to hurt my feelings or say shit about me, I'm real big on that too, Sarah. I block them. I just block them. And you do have to tell people, don't tell me what's going on anymore. Sarah, you need a Cletus. You need a Cletus, because that's what I did. I'm like, if y'all want to send me anything, send it to Cletus. Fly, Sarah needs a Cletus. Let Cletus handle it. For real. No, Sarah and Gypsy's not here. They're not here. They are not here. They are not here on Renee.com's channel. I was just answering Gypsy. Well, hopefully, you know, things can be moved on from, and it doesn't take away the hurt. It does not take away the hurt. Blocking someone and just telling people not to tell you what's being said behind the scenes or whatever, that is just one part of it. Because it does, even doing that, I completely get it. Even doing that does not take away your feelings. It doesn't take away your feelings. So I know I make people lost over here all the time, don't I? Isn't that horrible that I'm like that? I am just like that. So this came to my attention, and hey, loves. Well, I don't think you got any for me, did you, though? Flies? I don't think nobody sent you emails for me, did they? Okay, so this is from the Don Wells Family Channel. And usually if I haven't seen something for a long time and it comes to my attention, so we're going to check it out. Now, this is Benny Keys. He's talking to Don Wells. He talks about Tim Mullins, which is very interesting, you guys. Very freaking interesting. I am going to pull my my banner. We'll put the peace sign up here. We will put the peace sign up here. Yeah. See, yeah, nobody ever sent them to me, but I don't understand why Gypsy is mad about anybody else making money off YouTube. That's her first go-to when she comes after Sarah out of the blue. Yeah, I can see where people do get frustrated. You know, when you're trying to put out good content, but I mean, I don't know. I'm really weird, you guys, when it comes down to the monetary aspect. You know, that's why I try. It's really important for me to try to put out content that I can at least get views off of it. I saw where another creator got charged again. If it says offense date, doesn't that mean date of... Yes. Yes. Who was it, Birdie? Got charged. Was it Are you talking about Betty? She said, it's right, Sarah had tried. What do you mean had tried? I mean, are you guys, are you talking about like a cult type thing? Look, I adore Gypsy. I think she is one of very talented person. She is so talented. I also believe that there are times when she's trying to, I've seen her do this, trying to chill out a little bit, and people are coming at her, telling her, oh, Sarah's saying this about you. Sarah's saying that about you. this is going on, blah, blah, blah. I seen it happen with her. I seen her get upset about it. So, you know, I did personally see that myself. The guy from CC with public intoxication. I read it like he was on probation too for the prior charges. CC, is it, you got it on your channel, Birdie? The guy from CC. Cracking case? Yeah. Yeah, Cam. Yeah, yes, they are on probation, aren't they? Oh, you didn't put it out there, somebody else did? Yes, I mean, seriously, he got busted again. Did you guys know I seen where they actually, hold on, let me turn this music off. Hey, give me 1 minute, you guys. Give me 1 minute. Let me go get my tea. Hang on a minute. Okay, so hang on, I gotta get my sock. I put on one sock and I never did put the other one on. Okay, so I seen where they pled guilty in court over the kids, right? Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, Lordy. Cracking cases. I mean, I was really hoping they would do really good. No, that was 7 months ago. Because I thought they came back on again. So did they plea no contest in court? It broke my heart when I seen Allie and they were in that motel room, and it was sad. It was so sad. I don't understand what happened to him at all. It was in Virginia, but it seemed weird they didn't have an arrest date, only said the offense date. Okay, so I saw his last post about 2 or 3 months ago and just had a feeling the search confirmed it, unfortunately. Yeah, I thought that they were going and getting medication to help with withdrawals off of other substances and to keep them off of substances. I mean, they still got their channel. They were very successful on their channel. When the veil is dropped and hidden, something truth behind the curtains. I was hoping that they would be okay, but I mean, Allie lost her job as, what was she, a nurse, I think, right? How sad is it? That whole thing's just freaking sad. It really is. But some people, when they get, get that YouTube money coming in, and that one girl said that she gave them like 14,000 freaking dollars. It was like $14,000 that one girl said that she helped them with. I mean, just crazy in itself. Okay, like I said, this is Don Wells Family Official. That happens with me every once in a while. I'll get something popped up that I totally forgot about. So let's see.
True crime content.
Okay. This is Benny
There you have it.
Keys
We have a very special guest this evening.
talking to Don Wells.
Please throw some hearts in the chat for Mr. Wells, please.
You guys can hear this, right? If you can't, let me know.
Hello, Donnie.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
Oh, hanging in there.
Yeah, hard day at work today.
I tried best I could.
Now 17,000.
Yeah, you got a little rest earlier.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, did you get a chance to see that intro?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Oh man, it's so great. Like there's such beautiful pictures of Summer in there, and you, man, just completely awesome stuff.
Right.
So we have a format for this evening. We're going to try to keep it within 45 minutes or an hour. That's how we do. And the questions that we will be addressing tonight will be it'll be a list of questions designed by CM.
Questions designed by CM. The only CM I ever knew was Chris McDonough. So I don't know if Chris McDonough were just asking different questions and Benny decided he was going to put them together and ask Don, or what.
Asked these questions late last week, and we're going to go ahead and address them today. So, Don, without further ado, buddy, I'm going to go ahead and pull these pictures or these questions up, and we'll run through them. Okay?
Let's do it.
All righty, sir. Now, bullet point 1 and 2 They revolve around Mr. Tim Mullins.
Benny has a PR program, a social media manager. These revolve around Tim Mullins. Now, what Benny says is pretty interesting. So just listen to this.
Who, yes, is the Sandman. I hope that any of you that have found out that who Mr. Sandman was isn't mad at me because I had to protect his anonymity.
Benny, why did you feel you had to protect Tim Mullins' anonymity? Anonymity. Why did you feel you had to do that? Why was that important? Of all the people in Summer's case that you needed to protect Tim Mullins' anonymity.
So what I have pulled up here is if anyone has any questions about bullet point A or bullet point B, you can go to the findsummerwells.com site, and you can actually see a list of the affiliates and the sort of stations that Mr. Mullins is involved with. Now, as far as any of the...
Yes, and it is on the Find Summer Wells site, but Benny stated he was a hired actor to take attention off the parents. I don't know if he was a hired actor. I know that it was said that he was hired to run interference with certain people on social media.
The design you've seen tonight or past designs, they have been arranged by the beautiful A.F. Pennington, Miss Felicity. If you have any questions about the media or the PR stuff.
Now, I don't know if A.F. Pennington still does it, but A.F. Pennington was a big part in the videos that were on a lot of these sites with pictures of Summer in it, with music and stuff that went along with it. A.F. Pennington was the one that did a lot of that.
You may slide on over to summerwells.com, findsummerwells.com.
Yeah, I know crisis
and you
actors.
can see the media contact here, media@findsummerwells.com. And this is also going to give you a list of the publications where Summer has been showcased. So, moving on from bullet point 1 and 2, we're going to move to bullet point number 3. Now, Don, I've arranged just a piece of audio that will coincide.
He's going to talk about the 7 alibis.
If you can't see bullet point 3, it says talk about the 7 alibis. So before you do, I want to play this really quick, okay?
Okay.
I have 7 alibis.
Candace has none.
She's going down.
Okay. Can you please give us some clarity on that question, Mr. Wells?
Yeah, I think I was trying to joke around. You can tell I've been drinking for sure.
Absolutely.
And I did.
Okay, so Don explains the 7 alibis right here. Said he'd been drinking, he was acting up. I'm sure that there was a lot of crisis actors involved. I showed the lady who was at the vigil, and, you know, she was making a big scene, and how could she have thought that Candace did anything? And, you know, she was so sorry and all that crap. I mean, if you want to categorize Benny as that, then I mean, you can. I don't mind if you do it, but yeah, I don't know if I would, me personally, give that to Benny. I don't know.
Yeah, I was really just trying to joke around. I wasn't trying to be serious whatsoever. You know, I apologize. A lot of these people, they get on there and they act so serious, like, you know, they hang on every word that we say, and I
Yes,
just trying to,
Don.
you know, be amusing,
People do hang on what you
I guess, but it didn't turn out that way. So I apologize for that.
No, I don't think that it's anything that necessarily needs an apology, because we are the ones that are looking into your life. And when you know, we butted in as a community, as a platform into your life, you know, during your unwind time. And you know, not to poke fun at Mr. Wells' situation, but Mr. Wells has been very upfront about the fact that he has had a little bit less of a grip on the alcohol in the recent past.
For sure.
And I think that it's very you know, it's very important and critical to point out that some of the things that have been what we would think to be key high notes in this case have been the whiskey talking. Is that right, Don?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know,
So,
and I asked YouTubers for help. You know, I thought, I've never been on YouTube or thought much of it, but I did. I asked a lot of YouTubers for help, thinking maybe we could help find Summer, you know, initially.
Okay, Don has always claimed this, you guys, that one of the reasons he came to YouTube and Facebook was thinking that they would somehow help find Summer. But I think what is weird to me is what Don would say to some of these YouTubers and his actions with some of the YouTubers. Okay, wait, I'm confused, Act Right. All right, Benny said he was a hired actor to take attention off of the parent. But then you said he said it out of his own mouth. He said it about himself. What? No, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine that Benny said that about himself. But how could YouTube be a smaller fire to put out? I don't know. I don't know. I do know Benny said Tim Mullins paid him to run interference with some of the YouTube creators. One being Ernie Shell, for real.
So let me ask you, Donnie.
I didn't say you made it up.
Nobody
said you made it up.
We know the last time you were online intoxicated. How long has it been since you've had a drink, Donnie?
I think, you know, 2-3 weeks. I'm not sure.
No
I haven't been
way.
really
I don't believe
keeping
that.
track. I've been working every day, so it's hard for me to keep track of anything.
Yeah, no, I have been kind of keeping track. And
okay, good.
Yeah, I do believe that you're right at 12 or 13 days. So I do want to tell you, you know, I'm proud of you for that, because you know, I can't, I could never begin to imagine the pressures that you put on yourself and that the whole world is putting on you right now. So we have a little.
So was Don, and somebody else can answer this because I don't know the answer to this. Was Don Wells ever really a big drinker? Was he ever really a big drinker? I mean, we know that he always said Coca-Cola was his favorite, DOC, but was he really ever a big drinker? I don't know. I'm just asking because, I think that was something back then. I even asked the question and wasn't sure. So
we have a little understanding about the 7 alibis. Don has said that was whiskey talking. And we do understand that it has been, let me look at that really quick. That was November 6th, the 5th or the 6th that Don has said that. And so that has been exactly 2 months from then till today. So I guess my point is that we can point out, I think definitively that it was the whiskey talking, because after 2 months and you had 7 alibis and Candace had none, someone would be locked up, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
I don't know
to kind
if
of bring
anybody
this
would have been
into
locked up at
a
that
scope
point,
where
but-
people could understand this a little more. Maybe they missed some parts of this. There were a few other times that Donnie had fun with the YouTubers, and those things were taken very seriously and blown way out of proportion.
And I think that was a problem for a lot of people that.
All right, Mom, I gotta go back to work. Love you.
All right, love you. Be careful. It's the fact that it was like we were all so hanging on every word that some of these people were saying because of Summer, right? And so for the parent of a missing child to come on social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and do something like that was pretty fucked up. It was pretty fucked up when Don did that shit.
And made into something that they never were.
Right.
Now, the 4th bullet point, it says, preach that Candace has 0 and she's going down. We've covered that under bullet point 3, stating that this was, one of the whiskey talking situations. Now, as far as Candace is concerned, the sixth bullet point. I'm sorry about that, guys. The 6th bullet point here says, control Candace as she's going down.
Control
Now, in
Candace as
terms
she's
of what
going down.
that applies to the 7 alibis, but I'd like to expound on that 6th bullet point a little bit and ask you. We've debunked the fact that there's 7 alibis and she has 0, but in terms of the control or the perceived control that Candace has during all of this, what would you care to interject about Candace's state during all of this?
Well, I mean, we were both, before Summer disappeared, I mean, we were pretty happy. I mean, just normal family, and this has tore us both apart, badly. She's brokenhearted. I've never seen Candace like this, or probably never seen myself like this. I've never dealt. Summer was the greatest blessing of my lifetime, and got to be with her for 5 years, and then she's just gone. So this has tore us both apart, really bad, and we're still tore apart.
And this is the thing about it. You guys can agree with me or not. Their actions on YouTube made it look totally different. Made it seem totally different. I don't think I'm the only one who felt that way. Them coming on, especially Dawn, saying horrible things that could have happened to Summer. I mean, I guess there were other creators and things saying stuff like that too, but it just didn't make it okay with me. Not at all. None of it did.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that watching your wife, the mother of your children, go through this, Are you hopeful that there could be repair, no matter what the outcome be?
Well, I'm hopeful, but you know, I watched her cry, you know, every day. We both did for a good 5 months. And,
Yep.
you know, I mean, the first week was the most horrific week. I mean, it's been bad. You know, it's bad now. But
Can you tell? I don't want to interrupt you, Donnie. I want to know something. When your daughter first went missing, were you angry?
I was scared.
Scared?
I was scared. I was scared for her life. I was, yeah. I mean, anger. You go through different emotions. You're scared. You one minute you might have some hope, you know, and then the next minute you're thinking there's no hope. Somebody has her. They're beating her down. They're torturing her or killing her. Or then the next minute you might think, well, maybe somebody good has her and they're taking care of her, and maybe they love her, or you know. But
now he's making sense, right? Don's making sense. He's talking about the different emotions that they went through. And it's just so so interesting to go back and listen to what's being said now, because back then it wouldn't have mattered what Don said. It wouldn't have mattered what Candace said. The damage was done. What they did coming out on social media, that caused a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Statistically, what's that?
It turns quickly. You might think I've been around you and we've been talking, and it's like for 5 minutes we think this way, and then you know something exterior may poke the bear, and next thing you know Donnie's thinking a whole different way in the next 5 minutes, and I can tell you that you may think that you can get a glimpse of Donnie's pain and Candace's pain via this YouTube, and I promise you that it is an impossibility.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, Benny was all around. Benny, if he said he was a paid crisis actor, then so be it. He said that he was paid to run interference, you know, with certain YouTubers and stuff like that, especially Ernie Shell. He said Tim Mullins paid him to do that. There's also a video out there where Benny is telling people how to make money off of YouTube, off of a missing child. Now, he said he was saying that because of Molly Golightly, but then again, right? It made it seem unreal, the behavior statements, pictures, all the folks talking and no arrest. Yes, absolutely. And all these years later, and names are still being brought out. Different names are still being brought out in Summer's case.
A virtual impossibility. Now, I want to touch on something else. There is a question here that says, maybe purchase more crack for TBI.
Here we go.
Now, I don't think that that's a very tasteful question, in my opinion, coming from a revered law enforcement official.
I remember
I want to touch
now,
on
because
that.
I was a little disappointed.
You had made other whiskey comments referring to cocaine, correct?
Yeah, I probably have. Yeah.
I know definitively that I think the last, which was about 2 weeks ago, there was a statement made that you said you had purchased $2,000 worth of cocaine.
Yes, he did.
To prove you didn't have to sell your daughter to buy dope.
Yes, he did.
That was whiskey talk or no?
Well, I mean, I mean, I was going through a lot of emotion. I mean, people were pretending on YouTube to be TBI agents or affiliated with TBI agents, and
so you were just saying things and having fun, right?
Well, I wasn't used to this YouTube thing at all, and the games that people play. And I took.
What's that? What did that have to do with anything? right? What did that have to do with answering the question? Right? So you went and did that because of what somebody was saying?
Right?
Well, just I wasn't used to this YouTube thing at all, and the games that people play, and I took a lot of stuff seriously. I didn't know what to believe or what to think.
Oh, he took
My
it
daughter just
seriously,
disappeared.
right?
Here, I had my 3 sons there. I was worried for them. I mean, there was just so much emotion going on. I didn't know what to do. We had people sneak up on our property in the middle of the night, and
What's that got to
the
do with
police would
buying
come flying up the top,
$2,000 worth
up
of
the
shit?
hill, and big grin on their face. We want you to come down and do more questioning, and you just it's bad enough that your daughter's gone, and then all this other stuff's going on, and people are looking at you all crazy, and you're just an emotional wreck. You
That's
don't know if
not,
you're going to be what's going
you
to happen
didn't
from one
answer the
second to the next.
question.
Yeah.
You
Your
didn't
wife's
answer the
brokenhearted.
question.
Your boys are kind of blaming themselves because they didn't go downstairs this summer. They're hurting.
I think the
and
boys
it's just
were blaming themselves because of you.
whole families just don't know what to do or what to think, or just a lot of stuff going on.
Can I ask you?
I'll,
I want to ask you
Yeah.
a question really quick, and it's one that I've actually never had the. Let me just say, I never had to ask you, because I think at the time it wasn't probably helpful or healthy to think about it, and it may be not now. And if you don't want to answer the question, I completely understand. But
right.
when
You
Chris
never
Allen
answered
came
the
around,
question.
when he came, did he bring a lot of hope with him, or what was
Yeah, we had hope, and he made it seem as though we're here to find summer. This is what it's about. We didn't know, that he was being
He's
a
talking about
snake
Chris McDonough.
and trying to make us look bad and undermine it. It was about Mr. McDonough and his YouTube channel, and making him look good and making us look bad.
You guys
I'm
agree
sorry,
with
but
that?
that's the way I see it. That's the way it's been.
Do you guys agree with that? That Chris made it about his YouTube channel and not about Summer? Right? It's very sad, I think. What does that have to do with press key in China? Yeah, he's not answering the question about the $2,000 worth of crap at all. He's not answering that question. Which, going back over it, I do remember when I watched that, I felt the same way, that he's not said if he really bought $2,000 worth of stuff. This is what's weird to me. Just because, why would, if somebody contacted me from social media and said, I am a fake Fed, or not a fake, they're not going to say they're fake Fed. I'm a Fed. I work with Homeland Security. I work with FBI. I work with, CIA, what the fuck ever. They can tell me that shit all day long until they show me certifiable proof that they are who they say they are. I ain't listening to shit that they got to sell me. You guys get what I'm saying? Y'all know when the for sale video was posted. I don't know exactly. Well, it was posted the same day that it was made, right? I mean, yeah. Sounds like I'm describing Ernie. They post the Dancing in the Rain video the same time that right after she made it? Right after she made it? And I'll say this 1,000 times because I truly believe this. You know, like with the flipping what is his name? Fred Hill, right? Fred Hill all of a sudden wants to come out and put out this wanting people to think that Don and Andy owed money for substances. So, Summer was chosen to hand over because of something like that. And even though Summer's name wasn't said, and, Fred brings in a trafficking aspect to it. This is years later, Fred. And so what you're saying is, this is what pisses me off. You're saying these things like what? It's supposed to make you look good? Because you're saying that the possibility of her being trafficked was definitely there. And what did you do about it, Fred? You did nothing. You did nothing, right? I thought that she put it out the same day she made it. I thought that the Dancing in the Rain video came out the same time she made it. I could be wrong though, you guys. I haven't
That's
looked
just
at
the way it is.
a lot of
He
stuff
really hurt
for
you,
a
didn't he?
while.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
Because I
well,
can see it because there's been many a YouTuber come and go, and I can really tell that the reason I asked the question is because the only reason I could surmise that you would be as upset with CM as you would be is because he caused a lot of damage in your family, like furthered the damage, correct?
definitely.
I don't understand how Chris caused further damage to the family. What ended up coming out that Chris McDonough decided he was going to show a spotlight on was Dawn doing things to female family members. And Chris McDonough decided that he was going to highlight that whole scenario on the channel, on his channel. Makes me think Fred is higher up the food chain than they are. Because that's what he's been trying to say, Flies, right? That's what Fred's been trying to say this whole time. He tells us that, or Ziggy does, when she repeats a so-called conversation, that Fred could go to Knoxville and be a mediator with a substance dealer to protect Don Wells. Right? That's my thing. So where I sometimes I wonder if they even think about what they're putting out there. Because that's not something to me that makes Fred look like a hero. That makes it Fred putting himself in a higher position than even Don Wells or anybody else, right? I mean, it's just all freaking weird shit.
I wish Summer could see exactly what went on.
She allegedly, Birdie, made that Summer Dancing in the Rain video the day before. Was it the day before Summer went missing? And I could be wrong, you guys. I could be wrong. I really haven't even thought about some of this stuff for a long time. Because the yellow vehicle was in the background. And that yellow vehicle was supposed to have been Dudley's. And Dudley was fired the next day, right? I'll pull it up, see if I can find it.
Let Summer
Hey, Justice.
judge all that. I mean, I don't know. You know, what would she think about the whole thing if she were here, or my boys, or any of that? I mean, you know, our life. You know, we had a pretty good foundation. We had a good home and family and everything. Going to church and trying to do right. I mean, we weren't perfect. Believe me, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to say that, but we were happy. And then it's just like the carpet just got ripped right out from under our family, and then some. And it's just been a total mess and wreck, and just been a whirlwind of chaos.
But if that was the case, Dawn, why did you go to Utah? You wanted to move to Utah. That was your home, right? You wanted your dad's house. You wanted to move to Utah. You left Summer with Candace the whole time. So somewhere, even though you kept saying that you felt something was going to happen to Summer under Candace's watch, somewhere you didn't really feel that way. You didn't really feel that way. Dudley was fired the day before Summer vanished. Yes. Yes. Hey, Lisa. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? At all.
Ever since Summer disappeared.
Was there a change in the law enforcement's the way they handled you while Chris was there? Did they handle you better or worse or indifferent? Was there sort of an error that Chris was assisting them in a way unofficially?
Well, I think at first everybody had a lot of hope in Chris M. You know, he's an ex-homicide detective. He's a good-looking guy. You know, you think
what the fuck does Chris McDonough being good-looking have to do with trusting? You know, I tend not to trust good-looking people all the way. I know that sounds weird, but, you know, I'm just saying. Lisa did the Dancing in the Rain video, was that released? That was released the day before Summer went missing, right? If a woman knew something, she might open up, is what I think. What do you mean? Oh, you mean him saying that Chris is a good-looking guy?
his presentation is that he's there to help, and we're going to find Summer, and it just turned into a nightmare with him. And you know, and I hope he learns from this. I'm not trying to put him down. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes. None of us are perfect. I'm not trying to say that. I just hope that we all learn.
Can I ask you guys this? And I really tell me, okay, the rain video was 2 weeks before she went missing. Thank you, Lisa. Well, I guess I'm a little confused because what were we supposed to have learned? Did anybody learn anything besides about the family dynamics with Don and his, I'm just going to say sisters? We know Sonia's his real sister, and then he has another, I believe, real sister. And then Mary and Jeannie and them are stepsisters. What were we supposed to have learned from all of that? Now, absolutely, when Chris McDonough had Steve Johnson on there and they were going over the initial interviews with Candace and Dawn, that was fascinating. He had a couple other different people who came on and talked about behaviorally and things like that. But when I go back to Chris McDonough himself and what I learned from him, that was more along the lines of the sisters. Does that make sense? We learned the house was a wreck. Yes, law enforcement, they said toss that house numerous times. Numerous times. I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to come up. Okay, let me get through this. Here we go.
He's there to help, and we're going to find Summer. And it just turned into a nightmare with him. And and I hope he learns from this. I'm not trying to put him down. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes. None of us are perfect. I'm not trying to say that. I just hope that we all learn from this and move forward and try to help each other. Even Chris M.
Okay.
Yeah, you have always been very Christian in that sense. Although I know you've been very, very, very upset with some of the things that CM has designed and constructed on your family, but still, you've kept that very Christ-like walk in terms of not wishing bad on him and still wanting
Green Barrel video was
understanding for him and all of that. And so,
thank you, ma'am.
I feel like, Don, that shows a real elegance about you that you probably shouldn't be possessing right now. Or if you didn't possess it, people would not, they wouldn't look at you any differently. But I know.
Well,
go ahead.
I have my moments too.
And I really didn't see Chris McDonough berating Candace throughout that whole interview. I didn't see him be mean to her or, try to disrespect her. I'd never seen him do that to Candace at all. Now, why do you guys think that Chris McDonough was just adamant that he wanted us to know what had happened with Dawn and the family? Because that's what Chris was showing us. A lot of what happened with in the family with Dawn and the stepsisters and that whole scenario there. That was one thing that Chris definitely wanted put out there. I mean, we even had an investigator from Utah call and have a conversation with Don Wells while he was in jail. Now, after all those years, that came down to he said, she said, right? And that what basically that all came down to? Because some of the charges could not be picked up. They, they couldn't make any charges stick because it had been too many years for them to even. So basically, okay, I'm just going to ask you because this is me. This is the way I am. Do you guys feel Chris McDonough was leading us into the Don and his stepsister territory because he was trying very subtly to let us know that maybe that had also been happening with Summer? Hey, Lisa. What is up, girl? I don't hear you. I don't hear you, Lisa. Can you hear me, Lisa? Okay, I can't hear Lisa. Can I hear you, lady? All right, she'll talk when she's ready, I guess. I guess she'll talk when she's ready. So, because I don't know why I can't hear you. You'll work it out, Lisa. I know you will, girl. Benny was like, I'm being set up, and he was out. What, Danny? Oh, yeah, when Benny quit hanging out with him. Benny did feel like he was being set up because of the pure fact that, they were trying to say that he was asking for personal information about Dawn and, Dawn's social security card and birth certificate and all that stuff. So, are you back now, Lisa? Are you?
Yeah, I
There
don't
you
know.
are.
Somehow my Wi-Fi got shut off in the middle of that. So,
Oh, well, you're here now, lady.
hey, and always a pleasure, Mary.
So, I mean, do you think that Chris McDonough basically, kept going over Dawn and the family dynamics because he possibly wanted us to look at Dawn and Summer being 5 years old and kind of put that together?
100%. Here's a story that I heard. Tiffany Marie was the first one to be in contact with Jeannie. And Chris McDonough wanted a piece of that. So he begged Tiffany Marie to put him in contact with Jeannie.
Right.
Eventually she did. And I heard Chris wanted to write a book. So
write a book about Summer
the
going
girl.
missing?
No, about Don and the girls and
Okay.
what a dick Don was. He had it in from Don from the very beginning.
Right.
So then when it came out that Jeannie had also got together with her cousin when he was 12, then that kind of threw a pall on Jeannie's reputation. She got pissed. She faded into the background, and then Mary took over.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, wasn't was it Jeannie's daughter that
Trish?
Okay, Trish was actually on someone's panel, right? Long before long before Chris McDonough was that Tiffany Marie that she was on there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, and then Chris kind of, for some reason, stepped up in there to do whatever he was doing. But why would he, I mean, why would he want to write a book? Why, I mean,
Fame, fortune.
well, yeah, but I mean, I could probably see a little bit more if it had to do with Summer, but why write a book about Don and doing things to his sisters?
I don't know.
That's
He
just weird.
probably maybe was going to put them together.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah, because that's what he did from the get-go. He wanted everybody to associate what Dawn had
Yep.
did with Jeannie,
Absolutely.
associate that. Summer was the same age, you know. A lot of us didn't even need to read between the line on that. You know, we got the gist of what he was trying to do to start with. So
I've done a lot of research on him. He uses that read technique, which gets a confession. It's a faulty way of interviewing people, and he did that in the Michael Crow case.
yes,
Yes,
I went
I've
back
talked to Michael's mother quite a bit.
I actually remember going, I can't
Yeah.
remember all of it, but I do remember going back and looking at that a little bit, where that was a big deal that they busted him out over that.
What
And
they went through was horrific. Yeah. And then, you know, he sets his sights on who he knows is guilty. And then he did that in the pneumatic truck thing. He did it in the Jamie Wilson thing. He does it in every case he's in. He tried to get involved in another case. Michael Crow's mother told me that was already solved, but Chris tried to get in there. And what's his thing that he uses, that voice stress analysis or whatever he does? The judge called that junk science and said it was a joke.
let me ask you this, when did he start his YouTube channel? Because Summer's case kind of projected him, you know, up there a little bit. When did he start his YouTube channel?
I don't know. Let me check it out and see how far back it goes. You know, he was so into that. I think he wanted to write a book about the girls suing Don and following that whole, you know, he tried to instigate that or have them press charges on him. And
well, why didn't he, I mean, I didn't really see him doing anything though. I mean, I know it probably sounds weird, but
well, when he was on Doug's, and remember he got they played that tape of the detective interviewing Don.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when Don
He
was in
told
jail.
someone they were trying to wind Don up and put stress on him and get him to confess. It was all bogus.
It says here that he joined July 22nd, 2020. But I don't know if that's when he started putting.
Well, he had a Discord. I was in that Discord for a short amount of time, and
Discord.
He was pushing, you know, that the girls were Utah was gonna prosecute Don, and I said no, they can't. I mean, the Supreme Court's already ruled on that. Statute of limitations has expired.
The statute of limitations had expired. That's why I was surprised that what did they think that they were going to get Don to say? I mean, he'd been sitting in jail, basically in solitary the whole time, and had been there for quite a while, and they thought that he was going to admit to doing something to, I mean, that whole thing was just weird to me. Weird to me.
You don't want to get me started on
Well, that was the whole thing
the
about
Chris
it. Like I
McDonough
said,
thing.
this is the thing when he talked to Candace and he went up there, Candace allowed him to come up to their home and see their house, and you know, she allowed him to do that. A lot of people didn't look at that the way that I did, because and this is just the way I felt, if she really did something to Summer up there at 110, I don't think she would have allowed anybody to come up there and check it out. So that's
Well,
one thing I looked at
and
that, you know.
she told him he could go in the shed. And I hate people saying that she didn't want him to go in the shed. She said he could go in the shed. She just didn't want him to get hurt. That was pretty clear. The shed
Right.
door was already partially opened. Chris could have just looked in there, but he didn't. He knew Don wasn't in there. Don's truck
Well,
wasn't there.
that's the whole thing. I think he was just being a smart ass.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, making a joke on you know, Don's about Don, that he didn't need to do that. And I think even at the time, I don't even think it even hit Candace that is what he was doing at the time. But Don sure picked up on that really quick, and it pissed Don off. And I think that was the main problem that they had right there too, was, you know, my wife's letting you come to our home, our daughter's missing, and you're making stupid fucking jokes, you know. And I think that's pissed Don off. I think that was one of the things that pissed Don off.
Okay, I see Chris McDonough, the interview room, January 2nd, 2021. Welcome to my channel. I'm a retired homicide detective bringing you fascinating people and stories. Come along on this journey with us every Sunday at 7 p.m.
Yep. He really, I mean, but then again, Lisa, I mean, you have to admit there's a lot of creators, social media, YouTube creators that got, you know, a big boost from Summer's case and talking about Summer's case.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So, but if this always got me too. Why would if Summer's case was ever truly considered a cold case, he would not have to get permission from Don Wells to be a part of that investigation, would he? Oh, she's gone. Lisa's gone. Lisa, freaking whippersnapper. I mean, I don't know. I was just asking. I'm just asking. Yeah, I knew you were behind, Danny. You're okay. I knew you were behind, girl. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, girl. I knew you was.
I'm inept.
So, I mean, basically, what did we learn from Chris McDonough? Not a damn thing.
No.
Sorry.
I think he derailed it. He did more damage than good. He directed people towards Don.
Yes, he did. You're right, he did.
And only Don, and he never investigated anyone else. It was all Don.
Yes, you're right, it was all Don.
But that's his MO. That's what he does. Picks the suspect and then
And
then
then
that's
he
it.
doesn't.
Goes full bore at him. Like, I mean, with the Michael Crow case, there was a guy that they called the cops on, a homeless guy that was wandering around the neighborhood. I mean, wouldn't he be the obvious suspect? Yeah. But
But he didn't, no one else was looked into.
no.
Right?
Chris, yeah, I don't know why he set his sights on Michael, but what they did to that family was unreal. Because I've talked to Michael's mother for quite a while, and she told me a lot of stuff that happened.
Well, I do know for a fact that there were a lot of people that did start going, hey, we start going over and showing what Chris did in that case and things like that. One thing that I could never quite figure out is like I said, Candace, this always got me, Lisa, when Chris McDonough was like, yeah, Candace broke down and started crying and said God was punishing her. And, but yet he told his wife not to record it. But he made sure to tell us all about it, right?
Yeah. Highly
And
Scottish Ma.
I mean, that's the whole thing about it.
Well, it's like how he knew Don wasn't there, but tried to say Don might have been in the shed. I think that's why he didn't look in the shed. He knew Don wasn't there. Don's truck wasn't there. Karen was sitting in Chris's truck there that day, plus the film crew. He knew Don wasn't there, but he could make it look like Don wasn't there if he didn't look in the shed, right?
Yep. Yeah.
He's a
exactly.
showman. He's a YouTuber. And that's why when he tried to get involved in Rose Bly's case, they said thanks, but no thanks. He's all about the money. That's what they said. He's a YouTuber. He's not a detective anymore. So
Homeless, schizophrenic.
Oh, he
Bernie's talking about that guy.
no, he didn't.
Hey, the mouse.
There's more. There's a lot more things. Him opening the door, and there's a lot more to that, Birdie.
So, I mean, if we get back into Benny Keys, this is what I think. And I'm not, I'm not talking bad about Benny or anything like that. I'm just kind of giving my opinion on Benny and kind of inserting himself into Summer's case. And we have to remember that he had just left another case involving a child and children, and it was beneficial monetarily wise. Now, I don't know about him being paid as a crisis actor per se, but he did say that yes, Tim Mullins had paid him monetarily to run interference with YouTubers, especially Ernie Shell. So why was it so important that and it was weird to me because he said it at the beginning of this when he started doing this live here with Dawn that he was keeping Tim Mullins he was. Why were they trying to hide who Tim Mullins was, Lisa? Why were they doing that?
I don't know.
I
Hey,
don't,
little Dad.
I don't understand why that was even a thing.
Well, I know that Prayer Garden allegedly introduced Benny to Don. And I know Prayer Garden was Don's ghostwriter.
Right. Yeah, I knew that too.
Up until they were going to, I think they broke up after what was the first that guys that analyzed him. What was the name of that show?
The behavioral panel.
Yes, behavior panel. Then Tim took over and Tim got him Dr. Phil. So I didn't realize Benny, I guess, was still involved at that point. Did Tim Mullen just kind of take in Benny because he was already involved in all that?
No, because I thought Tim Mullins was already involved before even Benny.
No, I don't think so. I think PG and Benny were his handlers until he broke up with PG. Did you hear that? I have that recorded of her crying to Don to don't leave her. She's going to be alone the rest of her life.
Oh, Jody Sue was playing that, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when she's crying, don't leave me. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life.
Okay, they're saying that's her. Is it really her?
Yeah. Sounds like her. Yeah. Wow. I have other stuff I have other recordings of Benny talking about PG too.
I've got, I'm kind of going through my notes quick. I don't know if I can find it off the top of my head here where Benny's conversation that he had with Tim Mullins. That was when he said, see, I could never understand why it was a big deal to hide Tim Mullins. And because if you ever go back and look at one of the vigils, Robin starts saying something about Tim and he puts his finger up to his mouth for her to be quiet. Like he didn't want her to say that he was any way, shape, or form involved in putting himself in Summer's case.
I don't know. I think his angle from the beginning was to make a documentary.
Yeah, but it's just weird how he says that he didn't know Candace until he seen her and Robin in the parade carrying the banner, that the look on her face was horrible. Then he tried to say that he didn't know who Don Wells was, that he walked right past him at one of the vigils and didn't know that it was him. But then, Don has come out and said that they knew each other before that. And I don't understand what's the big fucking secret,
You can't believe any of them, though. You can't believe, Don or Tim.
Yeah, why would you, I guess that's one thing I never understood, Lisa, was these people, especially the father of a little missing girl, is going to behave like this and act this way. Why the lies? Why act like that Summer going missing was a big game that they were all playing on freaking social media? I don't understand. I will never understand that. I will never understand that.
I don't know, money. I think money. They got so much money.
Oh, I heard they got a lot of money. There were a lot of people. There was
They got
more
a
than
lot of money.
There was more than one people that told me that they were willingly asking people if they wanted gift cards and shit because they had so many. Yeah, I heard that from a lot of different people. A lot of different people. But then we have to look at it like this too, Lisa. Okay, if they're gonna sit there and they're going to, we're talking about a money factor situation. Could it been about money to start with? That was one of the first conversations people were having immediately, was the fact that did someone owes somebody money, and the price that ended up being paid was Summer. I mean,
I've considered that, but I think you know what my theory is. It's not one that people like being brought up, so I'm not going to say, but, I think that it was an accident. I don't think.
Well, yeah, that's been your opinion since the beginning. You haven't changed on, you really
No.
haven't changed on, what
No.
you feel there.
But
with it
nobody's
being
going to give
accident.
Don drugs on credit. I mean, he's
Well,
Don Wells.
that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, Lisa. He has made people. I mean, just little shit and comments that he said, like, I can go up to, the mafia, anywhere where they're located. I can go, and they're gonna, give me whatever I need or anything like that. He's put himself in that position.
Oh, yeah. He's a bullshitter. He is absolutely. And he wants everybody to think he's Mr. Big, He's involved in all this bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Fred is the same way. Look what Fred did.
Oh, yeah.
Look what Fred said. Fred is in so tight, and I guess just has a way with substance dealers that he can just say, hey, don't be messing with this guy. Let me come and mediate. It's like that. None of that shit made any sense to me. So,
No, I don't believe that either. Wait, mediate what? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What the hell are you going to mediate? Don wanted to immediately come to your house, Fred, but yet you'll mediate for Don. So, but
I wonder if Fred, if he was wired up at all, I think he was maybe a snitch. Maybe he was wired up to record his drug deals or something. I don't think it had anything to do with Don.
That's what I was wondering too.
They're not gonna wire him up to spy on Don. For all they know, Fred was the one that did something.
That's what I said. Of all people, they're like, we're gonna wire you up so you can sit and listen to Don Wells when he comes to your house or you go to his. So that right there would be like, wait a minute, so what did you tell law enforcement, that you and Don Wells were best friends and you guys were constantly around each other enough that immediately night one, they're telling you to, of all people, Fred, to wear a wire.
I don't think they thought it was just a missing child at that point, that she had wandered off. They weren't investigating it as a crime or anything.
Right. Exactly. So I'm just wondering if, and I mean, how are you going to be wired to
in a drive? Yeah. Out there in the field in a driveway. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, none of that makes any sense.
None of
that
it
doesn't make it. And the thing about it is, he can't prove it. He can't
prove anything he says. There's no receipts there whatsoever. And who is it keeps saying, a couple of creators, and I'm just going to throw this out there because I get sick of it, hearing it, is that if Don and Candace really passed their polygraph, which Lawson confirmed, they would have come out with their paperwork just like Fred did. Fred didn't come out with his paperwork. His sister opened it by mistake, right?
That was weird to me, Lisa, that
she put it out. Fred didn't come out with that.
Well, that was the thing. Law enforcement gives him a lie detector test, knows that he's in jail, but yet they mail that to his house instead of just giving him a copy of it at the jail. So that was kind of weird to me. That whole thing was kind of weird to me. And it showed what, 2 or 3 questions that they asked him. And it showed that what, he was being truthful.
I think they probably went over it. Usually after a polygraph, they grill you or go over it. So I'm sure he probably knew all that. Maybe they just wanted to document. I'm not sure they could have that paperwork in prison or in jail. I don't know. They're so fussy about everything.
Right. Yeah, I would think that he would have had a copy of that for his records, but
yeah,
but they went ahead and sent it to the
I don't know,
holler.
but I'm tired of hearing Fred put that out to prove that he was innocent. Fred didn't put that out, and it didn't prove he was innocent.
No,
So
it didn't.
inconclusive. What?
Well, yeah, it was inconclusive, number one. And number two, Fred was the one who had information about a individual not being alive any longer. Fred had information that was not released to the public.
Right. About the
So,
death scene.
yeah, exactly. Which I thought all that was weird anyway, you know.
Well, I have my thoughts about that too.
Well, I just remember him making a comment, something about Cotton had some money and, you know, he was watching out for Cotton. He didn't want anybody to take the money or some shit. And
yeah,
I was
before
like, are
he
you
got there.
freaking kidding me? So there you go. Fred's a hero. You know, Fred the hero. It just gets me. I've seen so many people on social media where it's like they have a hero complex or something. They say they do shit and they deserve a pat on the back for it. And it's like, no, you really don't, but whatever. Whatever.
You know, Mary, there's going to be a card reading on us tonight.
There is. Oh no.
I just see that in my tea leaves. I think we're going to be the subject of an Empress Ziggy.
I know, but okay. She can't do a bad reading on me because she already did one. And it wasn't.
She did one on me too, remember? I'm a lesbian that dated Candy.
You little lesbian girl, you. I would think, Lisa, I'd give you credit and you would find somebody that didn't quite look like grandma. Okay. I would give you that.
Plus, I never met her. There's that.
Well, you know, people do weird shit on social media, Lisa.
That's true. We could have been sexting. There are no questionable pictures of me out there on social media. I can tell you that.
I know, me neither. I never did do something like that. I guess I was always a prude. I never did. I don't remember ever taking naked pictures or anything like that.
I never would have done that either. You know, you're gonna break up with people eventually, and that's gonna be all over the internet.
We said I'm gonna become a lesbian vampire sister wife. It's so funny.
Yeah, sister wives. I don't know why people keep saying that.
I know. Well, I mean, the thing with Benny, I think Benny, I don't think Benny was prepared. I don't think that, I just don't think he was prepared for, you know, what happened, like when he got up in the holler, you know, people not really having a sense of time and and different things like that. I think it was just a whole different environment for him. And what was weird with Benny also was because at some point he had allegedly went to Colorado. And for some reason, when he put out pictures, they were of Tennessee, right? Do you remember that?
I do
That
vaguely. Yeah, I
yeah,
do vaguely remember that.
when
Yeah.
that was when he first, I think, came out. And
Wasn't that when he
and
was in the Great Smoky Mountains?
yes, but he said he wasn't. He said he was in Colorado, right?
Were you
But he,
familiar with Benny from the
yeah,
castrating case and
yeah,
in the West Boys?
yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there was no yeah. I would recommend and when Doug lost his channel, some of that stuff was lost, where he covered a lot of things on Benny.
I wonder if
I
he still has it. Doug
I don't
looks
I
awesome.
well, I've got some of it.
Oh,
I
you
just
got
have
it
to
done.
I would just have to go through and find it again.
That
But
was so funny. And Doug's still mad about having to pay for that pizza when
Doug had,
Benny's
well,
credit card was
did you
declined.
see did you see where Monica Sherrod came out and was I'm gonna see if I can find that. Monica Sherrod. She came and she said, "Oh, Benny, I'm sorry that I look like this." It was fucking weird. I gotta find it. Because, and Benny admits to this, so it's not like I'm talking about him. He admitted to sleeping with her
Oh yeah.
and doing substances with her.
Oh yeah.
And she did this weird fucking interview, and she's in a car and she's like, "I'm sorry I look like this, Benny." She didn't have her hair done or anything. And I'm like, why the fuck would you care about what you look like? I mean, for real.
Benny ingratiated himself into that right away to become the spokesman,
Yes,
the gatekeeper for her.
really did.
And then Molly was involved in some of that too. I got a lot of screenshots and texts that Molly sent, and a lot of bullshit going on behind the scenes in that case.
Oh, with Molly Golightly. I
Oh,
heard that.
she told Cash's grandmother, Connie, that she'd be shit if it wasn't for Molly.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. I got receipts for all of it. It was ugly.
She was talking about Betty. She's been talking about Betty since she came back on YouTube, but I heard her say something about she was talking about Benny or something, that Benny said that he would like to talk to her, or Tiffany said that, I don't know, it was freaking weird shit. Weird shit.
He's around. I saw an email he sent somebody just the other day.
Well, I think he just can't come out on social
Yeah, on
media.
YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. He wanted to do a live with me before he went to jail. I said, well, our
To talk
styles
about,
are...
what were you going to talk about?
I don't know. We hadn't gotten that far. I said, our styles are so different. I'm not sure that would work. And he said, oh, it would. I told him
I think it would work.
He's smart. He's articulate. He's literate. He if he applied himself, I said, your crime and cooking were the best things you ever did. I
Oh,
said,
yeah, it was,
those were
yeah.
awesome. And I said, why don't you just do that? Why don't you apply yourself and just get out of the bullshit and the gossip and the drama and just do what you do best? You could really
Yeah,
be
I think,
something.
well, I think it really hurt him with the, the Monica Sherrod stuff, and, some of the things that he was saying was really fucked up. And because he talked about doing substances with her and sleeping with her while her son was in another room, and knowing that the son could hear them, and it was all just really messed up. That whole situation was messed up. So then he went from that case right to Summer's case, right?
Yeah.
So he gets up there and he shows up at 110, and soon after he shows up, Dawn allegedly takes off, right?
Now Benny said he was there once earlier, but I'm not sure. He was there in the fall, and that's when Don went missing for 3 days, right? Robin had to call and talk him into coming back.
Well, now wait a minute, because was that the same time when they said Candace reported him missing or something, right?
Well, yeah, she and Benny tried to get the cops to ping his phone or whatever to find out where he was. That's when PG said he was actually hiding in the basement talking to her on the phone for the whole 3 days, remember?
Huh. Oh my gosh.
She said that so many times.
Well, Prayer Garden was always on the phone with him. If you ask her, she was always on the phone with him.
And yet
constantly.
Cher said she was on the phone with him 24/7, remember? So was it a
Right.
threesome or what? Because Cher and PG never talk about each other.
Well, the only thing I ever heard Cher really say was that they were trying to get her to act a certain way with Don Wells to see if he would give her any information that he wasn't given to somebody else, I think is basically the way she put it. So
He didn't give her any more information than
he didn't
anybody
give none.
else.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't give none of them shit, if you ask
No.
me.
Well,
He
somebody
didn't
was
give
on the
any.
phone with Candace where he was on the phone in the room with somebody else, and he said, yeah, he was feeding YouTubers a bunch of bullshit. He loved telling everybody a different story and then watching them all fight it out. He didn't tell anybody shit.
Nope. Nope, not at all. Not at all. Because see, I thought there was a time that they talked about that Don's sister actually had to call and get him to come back home, and that's when he took off. I thought they said to Mexico or somewhere. I don't know. But he had been gone a little while, and Candace got Don's sister to talk him into coming back then. And then, of course, Robin, would pray with him and get him to come back. I always said I would love to be a fly on the wall and hear that conversation for real. So
I think that Robin might have been the time right at the beginning when he disappeared. He did go to Knoxville occasionally. I do know that. I don't know that he saw any hookers, but.
Well, I'm sure he did. I mean, I don't think that's anything that any of them really hid, was the fact that, Don liked his lady friends. I don't
know. All we
hid
ever
that.
heard about that was that somebody saw didn't Ziggy have a lady in the night?
Yeah, well, no, this is what Ziggy did. So supposedly one of the hooker's friends is the one that talked to Ziggy, not the hooker herself.
Oh,
It
okay.
was allegedly the hooker's friend was talking about it.
And your other friend was a CPS worker? No.
Yeah. I mean, she does have some eclectic friends, let me tell you. She's got quite the group.
Uh-oh. I gotta go, Mary.
All right, bye, Lisa. Thank you. Lisa had to leave. I don't know why. I hope you're okay, Lisa. She had to go. Must have been one of her many lady friends or men friends. I don't know. You can come back anytime you like. I've got 10 minutes left, you guys. I can't believe I've been on here almost 3 hours. I promise we'll finish this another time. Because remember, Benny said he found the underwear. Candace asked Benny to go look in the truck, and there was underwear in there. Remember, you guys? So, well, one thing I do know for a fact is nothing that anyone has said or nothing's helped find Summer. Nothing has helped find Summer. So, and unfortunately, I always said I would love to talk to Benny. You know, I get it though. A lot of people, they don't want to talk to smaller channels. You know, they would rather talk to the larger channels and you know, get that sort of attention that way. And I'm just me. I'm a little old channel, and but I would love to talk to Benny, not about, you know, not about shit that he's been accused of or, you know, shit like that. That's kind of irrelevant to me. Just an honest conversation. Hey, Mr. A, just an honest conversation about, you know, Summer's case and how he felt and things like that, because Benny did give his heart and soul to Summer's case. He lost a lot. I watched Benny lose a lot, you know, from putting himself in Summer's, you know, Summer's case or missing. I don't truly feel in my heart that that the only reason that Benny even got involved with Summer's case was purely monetary gain. I truly believe he wanted Summer to be found, but there was just so much going on and so many players in the game and people lying and, you know, not wanting to tell the truth and just bullshitting all the way around. It was messed up. That was a while, I think, Bertie, when they got the paperwork from law enforcement that talked about the Dawn getting caught taking a woman's underwear out of her garage or something. Dawn got caught with the woman's underwear. That's pretty creepy. But that was after. That was a while after. I think Benny talked about finding the underwear in the car. But I would have to make sure. So I'll have to double check and see which came first. So we will check on that, Birdie. We will check on the underwear story. For real. I hadn't seen Curse. Is Curse mad at me for something? Curse, why you mad at me? What did I do? I don't know what I did. It's okay, girl. You can be mad at me. I don't care. I don't mind. I don't care. Everybody can be mad at me. How about that? We're going to take a whole day and nobody's going to be mad at anybody else. They're only going to be mad at me. That will give everybody a day off from being mad at people. Yeah, Don likes red underwear. He sure does, so. But you guys go over and check that out. The link is in my description. Whether you think so or not, I know a lot of people don't like to go over and watch like the Don Wells Family Official and stuff like that. But there are some really interesting stuff on there, you guys, for sure. For sure. And we will do a part 2 on that so I can finish letting you guys see that. But it's just time. Summer needs to be brought home for real. Sebastian needs to be brought home. I mean, Sebastian will be 18 here in a couple years, so I guess I would like to think that, you know, he's wait until he gets 18 and can control his own life, maybe. I don't know. That's just a way of thinking. But I'm going to get off here, and thank you, Lisa, for coming up, and I would love to have you come up again. You know that. Anybody's more than welcome to come up anytime I drop a link, and we're talking about Summer's case and stuff, and so just a lot of different interesting stuff for sure. Gypsy, like I said, I kind of hope that at some time everybody can just move on and not be mean to each other. For real. But my chat is a safe place for everybody, and if I do see someone coming in being mean or saying something really horrible about somebody else, I don't go for that. And I just didn't catch you, Gypsy. I heard about it, but I didn't catch you, girl. So you know, I don't like that stuff. So, but I hope that everybody can take a deep breath and even if you can't be friends, then just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. For real. And thank you guys for not making me have to take sides on anything. I appreciate it. I've got a lot of respect for people that are like that, and you know, like I said, I will never go to people talking badly about other people at all. Not my cup of tea. Zena, you've been a member for 6 months, girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, I got to get off here. I've been sitting here too long. So, wow, I can't believe I was on here 3 hours, but I don't know. I just needed to get on and kind of occupy my mind. I was starting to get a little bummed out, but I'm okay now because I had my friends. I got my friends. All right, peace out, everybody. 3 hours exactly. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out. And I do have another case for tomorrow that we're going to be talking about. These kids' cases just do not stop. They don't stop. So, all right, you guys know how to get a hold of me if you need me, and I will catch you all later. Thank you, Wazziz. Thank you, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.